speaker, and this is very linear, and I appreciate it.
Yes,
but how we have church in Harlem is how we do theater in Harlem. So I think that this is a conversation between us and you, and I'm so happy to be invited to the conversation. None of us would be up here if we weren't doing extraordinary work. And none of us would be up here if we weren't standing on very mighty shoulders of our ancestors. So let's just take that as a given, right? I am utterly boiling because the lack of, just in general, urgency in the work that we do, right? We heard brilliantly the history of Black theater in New York and Harlem, the African Grove Theater, the American Negro Theater, one of my mother, Dr. Tier's close confidants, Ossie Davis and Ruby D, they were all activists. Their art was the fuel that helped them create progress so we could all be sitting here today. And we sit back and we watch modern day lynchings on the news every day, with teens being shot unarmed by police officers, and we leave our activism to hashtags. It's utterly impossible for me to wrap my head around unless we're talking in conversation about these things on our stage, right? So like, as artists, what we are should be, in my opinion, activists, right? And the work that we do, though it's entertaining and pleasurable, it is to liberate and to affect change so that we don't sit up here and have this conversation generation after generation after generation and the same shit is going on. So for me, Black theater in 2015 can only be about that. You can do Shakespeare, you can do August Wilson, but why? Why are you doing it? And I think that it woven into what we do as artists, because it's not going to be social media, it's not going to be a hashtag. The revolution will always be in the hands of the artists. And if we're not thinking revolutionary in the way that we produce, in the way that we have conversations, intergenerational conversations, intercultural conversation, if we're not having an equal conversation about the LGBTQ community with our community, then we are doing a disservice as Black artists who make Black theater. And so I think it's wonderful we're all here, and I think it's wonderful that we know our history and continue to learn it and document it and archive it, but I want to hear from you, from all of us, the urgency and the importance of what we do. I think that Black theater holds a sacred space in the soup that is American theater.